Shalom, shalom, yashallah. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharaka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, chiefly of Great Millstone, and other like-minded elders in Israel that do teach well, and by whom I learnt this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Shalom wa barakatam, and to the hope for the elect, you brothers and sisters scattered throughout the four corners, doing your due diligence in all truth and sincerity. And salutation to the Akim that are laboring, man, doing the work week in, week out, as much as the Most High makes it possible, giving up their body as a living sacrifice unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in all truth and sincerity. Shalom to you brothers, right? And this the brother Daniel Allah. And this ain't really a lesson. I just wanted to say something, a few things that were on my mind, meditating in the spirit, man. And one thing, that I realized, and this is more prevalent among you women, right, in general, not just you Israelite women, but women in general, right? And what you have a tendency to do or say or think is that when somebody doesn't agree with you, that they don't understand you. Now there's a difference between not understanding someone or understanding something and not agreeing with someone or something. There's a major difference there. And what women tend to do a lot is that when you don't agree with them, they will say, you don't understand me, or you don't understand, right? Now, you can understand perfectly well, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to agree. And that's something, that women find it hard to distinguish between, right? And guess what? There's also a lot of men out there in that same spirit that also think, alike and think that same way, basically. That just because you don't agree with them, that you don't understand. Where you might understand perfectly well. You might understand perfectly well. But just because you understand, it doesn't mean you have to agree. And this is something that we all have to remember, man. So I just want to make that point clear again, man. Just because you may not agree does not mean that you may not understand. So you can also understand and not agree. No. And it's being able to discern between the two, right? And understand that, So, I just wanted to make that point. And, these are just little things I meditate on in the spirit, man. And another thing I was meditating on, which I often do, and it's not the first time I bring this out, is that another thing people tend to do in general is what they'll do is they'll say, when they don't understand something or when they don't know something, they have a tendency to say, none of us know, or we don't know, or nobody knows, right? When in truth, there can be others that do know, others that do understand, and it's maybe you that doesn't understand. But what people do is that when they don't understand, they don't know, in order to not feel ashamed or embarrassed, they'll say that nobody understands, right? Or none of us know, right? Which is not always necessarily the case. Somebody could know perfectly well. Someone could understand perfectly well. It may be you that don't understand or don't know. And we're not meant to be pushing it out onto everyone else, because that's a feminine spirit, a feminine trait to be in, and it's also a wicked spirit to be in. Because just because you don't know, it doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't know, Because guess what? There's people out there in the world that know more things than you may know. Same goes to me, right? There are actually people out there that may know more than you. And there's some people out there that you may know more than them. So to make that statement of when a question is posed to you that you don't understand or you don't know or that you haven't got the answer to to say that nobody knows, right? Because it may be just a case of you don't know, right? Hey, so these were just a couple of things I was thinking on in the spirit, because like I say, these are normally things women tend to say, but you also have a lot of men, even within this ministry, and they think the same way, you know. You know. So with that anyway, like I say, not so much of a lesson to a degree, but just a few things that were on my mind and a few things to ponder on, man. A few things to meditate on and understand, man, in the spirit. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharaka Kodash. Give a double honors to the elders and apostles that rule and teach well. And Shalom, wa barakatam unto the hope for the elect, man. Shalom.